Welcome to our presentation. We are from Group 5 and we would like to present our material about components of the qualitative research. My name is Lumega Puspita with student ID number 21120211103 and I would like to explain the first and the second point. The first one is introduction and aim of the study. So introduction is used to put our research into context. It should explain how our study was done and what it is about. Here there is an aim, which is the aim can be considered as the extension of the introduction, and it should clearly state our research problem, and the research problem or the statement of our research problem should provide a convincing rationale for why our study needs to be done. So that is an introduction and aim of the research. The second one is literature review, which is it is used to examine and gather information about the chosen problem from existing research. So the existing research usually over a specific period of time, which is in here, it usually used when it is 5 years ago. So 5 years is the limitation. And the literature review, in short, it is summarizes and also analyzes previous research which is relevant with our topic. And besides that, it helps us as the researchers to keep up to date with the current trends and also findings. So that's all for my material, and the next point will be presented by my friend. Thank you.
Okay, now I will talk about sample description. So the means of sample here is individual. So the individuals studied are referred to as the sample. Certain characteristics of individual are usually identified as important research problem. So the several characteristics which need to be identified by a researcher to be sample, like age, gender, socioeconomic status, and educational background. And usually, researchers use this sample description to examine disparities from each individual. Okay, now about data collection method. So after a sample group has been identified, researcher must be determined how to obtain information from a sample or individual. It can be done with face-to-face interview, phone interview, survey, and group discussion. So the copies of research and question used are often included in this section. So the data collection method can be accommodate all copies of research question. And this section also provide anecdotal record kept by interview are often kept.
Hello everyone, my name is Nileka Ciptarini Yujianti with student ID number 211201095, and now I want to explain about data analysis method and finding. For the first, I want to explain about data analysis method. In this section, there are several points that we have. The first is data analysis for qualitative research is not intuitive. This is because qualitative data stand in opposition to traditional data analysis methodology, while the data analysis is concurred with quantitative, and qualitative data is by definition unquantified. Next, the second is can be combined with quantitative methods. Methods for analyzing data are highly varied and may. On occasion, it can be combined with quantitative methods. When qualitative and quantitative methods are combined, it can be called as a mixed approach. Next, important to describe how the information obtained from the sample was managed. For example, include audio or video recordings, transcription, database storage, and written records. Okay, next we move to the findings. Okay, findings. A major purpose of the findings section is to break down the data into sentences that show its significance to the research question. So there are several points in findings section. The first one is, in findings section should include a direct report of the data. The second, report only that which is relevant to your research aims, objective, and research question. Important to us to make sure that you report only that which is relevant to your research aims, objectives, and research question. Don't waste the time on data that are not relevant to your research objects, also research question. Next, the third one is findings should be succinct and impartial without engaging in personal reflection or interpretation. Next, the last one is focus on presenting the key findings and using a handful of select quotes or the text extra to support as findings. Well, you need to present your analyzed findings in some detail, so you should avoid a dumping large amount of raw data in the chapter. Instead, focus on presenting data with the key findings and using handful of select quotes or the text extra to support edge findings. Okay, that's all about my material. The next material will be continued by my friend. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nyoman Julietri Amanda with students ID number 211-202-111 So here I want to explain about the discussion section of qualitative research. So the first one is reiterate the research problems or state the major findings. So in discussion section, the researchers briefly reiterate this research problem, what problem that they investigate, what method that they use to investigate the problems, and then move quickly to state the major findings of the study. Second is explain the meaning of the findings and why they're important. So in discussion section, the researchers also have to explain systematically about the meaning of the findings and why their findings are important. Next is relate the findings to other similar study. So the researchers should relate their study findings to other similar study to point out that their studies differs from other similar studies. Number 4 is acknowledge the study's limitation. So in discussion section, the researchers also have to acknowledge and identify the study's limitation and describe it in detail of the problems encountered of the method used. So the last one is make suggestion for further research. So in discussion section, if there are still questions that had been answered by the method that you use in the study, the researchers should make a suggestion for the future research. So the next material I will explain about the conclusion. So the first one, presenting the last word on the issues that you raised on your paper. So in conclusion, over a chance to leave a lasting impression, for example, by highlighting the key points in your analysis or your finding in your study. Next is summarizing the researcher's thought and conveying the larger implication of the study. So in conclusion section is an opportunity to answer the question by placing the study within the context of the past research of your topic that you've investigated. The last one is demonstrating the importance of the researcher's idea. So in conclusion section, it's over a chance to elaborate on the significance of the study's findings.